Well, hello there, Monstars. Welcome to our next flip video, and in this flip video we are going to be learning about division. So when we're talking about division, it is related to multiplication, but it's thinking about sorting numbers apart versus combining numbers to create a greater product. So for example, if we look at our picture of our baseballs here, we would take our baseballs and we would divide them into equal groups. So if I asked you to divide these baseballs into 2 equal groups, then you would probably split them up and see that we have 2 groups of 2 baseballs. Then we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some division vocabulary and practice some division skills. Now when we're talking about division, there is some vocabulary we need to know. When you look at this problem, 4 divided by 2 equals 2. That's what we just did with our baseballs. We took our 4 baseballs, we divided it into 2 equal groups, and we had 2 in each group. And when we're talking about the terminology, this first number here we call our dividend. It's the number being divided. So there were 4 baseballs that were being divided. That's our dividend. And when we think about our number here, our dividend is divided into 2 equal groups. That turns into our divisor. That's what our word is for, our vocabulary word for the number of groups or the ways that we're sharing something. And then the only one left over, our answer to a division problem, is the quotient. So if we were looking at this the vocabulary, we would say that our dividend of 4 was divided into 2 equal groups to give us a quotient or an answer of 2. All right, so let's practice division with this word problem. So read it along with me. Four friends divide 12 cookies equally. How many did each friend get? Okay, I'm going to use the draw a picture strategy to help me solve this problem. So I see that some key words here are that I have 4 friends and that they are dividing 12 cookies equally. When I use here equally, that means that each of them gets an equal amount. So the question that I'm trying to solve here is how many did each friend get? So if I draw a picture, I'm going to draw a circle for each friend. Okay. And I am now dividing, so I'm splitting up 12 cookies equally. So how I represent that is I'm going to put a cookie for each friend, and I'm going to keep going with my cookies until I run out of cookies. So far, I put 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies out. I need to keep going until I get to 12 cookies. I'm going to put one in each group equally until I run out of cookies. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies. This would be 5. Oops, hold on. This would be 5, then 6, 7, 8. Am I out of cookies yet? No, I got to keep going. 9, 10, 11, 12. Am I out of cookies? Yes, now I'm out of cookies. So if I look at each friend, I see that in their group, they each have 3 cookies. So I know 3 is my quotient. I know 3 is my answer. How would I write a number sentence to represent the work that we just did? Well, I took 12, that was my dividend, and I divided it into 4 groups. That was my divisor. And my answer then was 3. My quotient was 3. That each friend gets 3 cookies. Now let's think if that's reasonable. Think about what we know about multiplication. We can check our division problem by using multiplication. Look at the work we did. We made 4 groups of 3 cookies. And what is 4 groups of 3? Well, the answer is 12. So I know from my use of multiplication that my division problem is correct. Okay, look at this word problem. Read it along with me. Quinn made 28 candy apples for the party. Please divide them equally between these serving plates. So we have these serving plates, and we have 28 candy apples. I want you to draw out these serving plates on your whisk. I want you to hit pause and then push play when you're ready. And let's see how you did. Let's see if you were able to draw out the candy apples correctly. Okay, so what you should have come up with is that there were 4 candy apples on each plate. So what number sentence represents the work that we just did? Well, we took 28 candy apples, that was our dividend, and we divided it into how many groups? 4 is not the answer. How many groups did we divide it into? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 serving plates. So 7 is our divisor. How many candy apples ended up on each plate? What's the quotient? What's the answer? The answer is 4 candy apples on each plate. Let's use what we know about multiplication to check the reasonableness of our answer. If we have 7 groups of 4, what is our answer? The answer is 28. So because I have 28 as my answer to my multiplication problem and 28 is my dividend, what I started with, I know that my answer is correct. Okay, now I'd like you to practice these 2 division problems on your own. You can use the strategy of drawing a picture, or if you feel like you have a pretty good grasp of division, you can go ahead and use your knowledge of multiplication to help you solve these problems. So I'd like you to try these on your own, and then come into class on Wednesday when our whisk is due, and we're going to take a closer look at these problems. Okay, and as always, I'm going to leave you with a joke, but this time it's more of a riddle. So here's the riddle. A woman has 7 daughters, and each daughter has a brother. How many children does the woman have altogether? Okay, Okay, so see if you can solve that riddle. Don't forget to complete that whisk. It's due on Wednesday, and go Royals!